Episode of the Everblack Podcast is brought to you by Deathwish, Hotrods and Kustoms. Check out their Instagram for all their new t-shirts, caps, beanies, cups, and the all-new Atomic Death lineup. Bob, how's it all going over there?
Good, man. We're doing good. We're actually in Denver tonight. We're in the middle of our tour for the new album, which started the day the album came out. So, yeah, we're like halfway through now. It's been going really good and just having a good time. Good to be out and actually playing shows again. You know, it's great.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. That new album, of course, is the new IMMOLATION album, Acts of God. And you know what, man? This album is already one of my favorites of the year so far. And it sets the bar very fucking high. Everyone's talking about it, man. Dude. Everyone's loving it, eh?
Awesome, man. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of good reaction from it. You know, it's awesome. We feel like very fortunate. You know, everyone really seems to dig it. You know, the press, the fans, everyone, they're really loving it. And we're real happy about that because we worked really hard on it, put a lot of effort into it, and it's just good to finally, you know, see it come out and, you know, getting it done right after the pandemic started. You know, once things started clearing up in New York anyway, you know, restrictions and stuff, we kind of tried to get together and then get right in the studio. So it was crazy, but we're just glad, you know, everyone's digging it, man. It's a good feeling to have it behind us and everyone finally able to check it out.
I guess the good thing about it also is you're on tour and you get to talk to people face to face and get that feedback and how much they're digging it too. That must be pretty satisfying.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially when we're playing the new songs. We're playing a lot of new songs on this one. So, you know, you could tell they're getting all the new stuff, you know, and to us that's awesome. You know, it really it's cool to see, especially with new songs out that some people, you know, may have heard. Sometimes some people haven't heard them yet, but the bottom line is the reaction has been really great with the new stuff. So, yeah, it's always cool to see that, you know, live and in person. And get to obviously, you know, talk to people and just in general. I mean, after the pandemic, you know, we're just, everyone's just happy to just be out on the road and doing normal things, you know. It's just fun to finally be out here and be able to just do this every night. You know, it's something we missed for a couple of years.
Was it weird, the first couple of shows, like, you know, it's like taking those steps all over again, isn't it? And getting back to normalcy.
Well, we were lucky enough, you know, believe it or not, in 2021, last year, we did do a couple of festivals. So for us, that was kind of our breaking point. That was like the breaking in point when we did Psycho Las Vegas at the end of August last year. And everything really started kind of opening up, you know, a couple months before that. So it was kind of cool to be out, you know, all of a sudden we're, you know, taking a flight out to Vegas and playing in front of all these people, and it's a big festival, so it was like really cool to take up over the whole Mandalay Bay Casino, and it's like all different stages and rooms, and you know, you finally get to see a ton of friends again and just be around so many people. That was an interesting experience for sure. And then we did the Decibel Metal and Beer Fest in Philadelphia about a month after that, and that was great too. So that was kind of our break-in to be out there playing music in front of people and meeting all friends again and kind of reconnecting with the whole scene in person, you know. So that was really cool. So by the time we get out on this, it almost felt like normal, you know what I mean? Like, okay, here we go, we got to do our thing, and you know, it's just like it's always been, you know, because the restrictions are pretty light in a lot of places. So, you know, some people have masks on, some people don't, but I mean, it's not like a big difference, you know, doing shows now than it was when we did it back in 2019. You know, everything's been pretty much kind of like what you would expect. You roll in, you do your show, you set up, you know, there's nothing really that different, to be honest with you. So it feels like it's back to normal.
Oh, that's so good to hear, man. I mean, you're out there with Imperial Triumphant at the moment, right? Those guys are incredible.
Yes, Imperial Triumphant and Mortiferum. And yeah, both bands are great bands, great people. It's been such a good time. We're all having a really good time. And it's great. You know, it's like, it's fun to go out with bands. Like, we really wanted to take out bands that were kind of like, you know, up and coming and doing their own thing and creating a buzz and like had some really good stuff. And we really felt that these two bands were super strong and we were so happy they decided to do it with us. And it's been awesome. You know, we're all having a great time and it's great for the fans too, because they come and they see these bands and a lot of people come up to us and be like, oh, thanks for bringing out, you know, these both these guys, you know what I mean? And some people never even heard of them before, and they're like so happy, like, wow, these bands are great. You know, I'm so glad you guys brought out good bands because that doesn't usually happen. You know, a lot of times I guess they're not happy with some of the support acts with some tours I go through. So this was just good because I think both bands have their own thing going on, but they definitely fit in with what we do. You know what I mean? So all three of us have our own style and everything. So it's kind of like a really cool. It's a good show to see. You know, it's like everyone's got their own thing going on and something different to offer, but it's all in that same type of genre. You know, and it just works out. Everyone really seems to be taking the tour. So yeah, it's been awesome, man. We're very happy that these guys all decided to come out with us.
So when are you bringing it down to Australia? I'm going to put you on the spot.
I'm hoping. I'd like to. I mean, trust me, we'd love to do this great same package in Europe, Australia, and stuff. So, it's stuff we're working on. We can't really, we decided to wait until anything abroad till next year.
Yeah, of course.
Because of a lot of European tours had to get postponed or rescheduled or canceled, and just because of the restrictions keep going up and down. So it was a little too early, I think. So we decided, we'll wait. We'll do a lot in the U.S. this year, and then we'll wait till next year to do actual touring abroad. We are lucky enough to have a couple of fests coming up. We're doing the Netherlands Death Fest at the beginning of May, end of April. We're doing Dreamer Fest in France, which is at that same weekend. Not a smaller fest, but that same weekend. And then we're doing the UK Death Fest, I think, early September, early October. I forget when it is. But so at least we're going to get over there, play a couple of shows, festivals, which would be nice. But, pretty much 23 is going to be the year I think we're going to get out to the rest of the world and probably continue to do stuff in the U.S. too. So, we plan to do a lot of touring for this record. So we're going to try and hit it hard, both this year, but especially next year.
Absolutely, man. And we'll be counting down the days when it gets announced, that's for sure. But this album it's a very dark record. I mean, considering the last couple of years, of course, with, all the blood, sweat, and tears and everything that's gone on for everybody, and it's been 5 years since Atonement as well. So where in the timeline did this album really kick off, and how much of all that over the last couple of years sort of seeped into it from your perspective?
Well, I started writing songs at the end of 2018, and then so it was definitely pre-pandemic stuff on there musically, and then 2019 we did a ton of touring. We toured basically just about every continent, so we've actually hit some new places. We went to Japan for the first time and Asia for the first time. We did U.S., we did Canada, we did Australia, and so it was a big year for us touring wise because we wanted to really, we felt Atonement needed some more touring before it was done. You know what I mean? We really wanted to get out there in a big way one more time, and we're kind of glad we did because we did that for most of 2019. So I started writing end of 2018 into 2019, and then once the touring started, I had to put that off to the side, and we planned 2020 to be a writing kind of recording year anyway. So for us, we were very lucky because, we got to get out there before everything kind of, just stopped, so it was good for us because we just toured our asses off in 2019 and then it came to an end and then the pandemic hit and then we just started working on, continuing to work on the new stuff. So we got lucky in that respect.
The track Overtures of the Wicked stands out to me as very fucking relevant of where the world is right now. Sure. That's my interpretation anyway. Like, I found it kind of eerie.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, and you're correct. I mean, a lot of the songs deal with a number of things that have been going on. Not so much the pandemic itself, because a lot of stuff prior to the pandemic was very influential in what we were writing about. So really, the last 4 years has just been a bizarre time. I think just for our world. So much, divisiveness has been going on. It's just like things are just going backwards. And it's just been crazy. So there was a lot of stuff to write about, and we always do it in a very ambiguous but dark way. But a lot of the stuff deals with what's going on around us and what we see around us, happening in the world, and then it's reflective of that, and, so you're right. There's definitely songs that kind of, deal with that subject. There's songs that deal with subjects we touched on in the past that continue to happen and continue to be a problem. So yeah, it was just a culmination of everything, so you're correct. It did have definitely an impact, but I think it was more of not so much the pandemic itself, but it was like the divisiveness that it caused. And there was a lot of divisiveness prior to that, but then the reaction to it was also interesting to see just how humanity just kind of fails, you know. You know what I mean? So it's like there was a lot of stuff to write about. So you know, every song has its own, you know, it's its own subject, its own exactly, you know, it's detailed about something, but we like to be, like I said, ambiguous about it so everyone can get their own thing out of it, because we really wanted to just leave it open to interpretation, because to us that's more fun for the fans, you know, because everyone looks at something in a different way. So we present it a certain way, and then some people kind of figure out exactly what we're talking about, and other people, you know, they look at it, they get something else out of it, but that's fine, you know, that's as long as they enjoy it, that's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? It's funny. I feel like metal especially has drawn from these times that we're in now more than any other musical genre, especially lyrically. And it's a real strange time to be alive right now. And it's definitely coming through people's art. And metal seems to be at the forefront of that. Have you noticed that darker tonal shift overall from other bands since everything sort of really took that shift in 2020?
Yeah, I mean, I think plenty of bands have been inspired by the happenings of what's been going on, both, you know, the pandemic itself, or just like I said, like the reactions to it and everything. So it's definitely been, I definitely think it's played a big part in metal in general, for sure. You know, and metal's always been about that. It's always been about, you know, that kind of like dark side that people don't talk about most of the time. You know what I mean? Most metal. I mean, yeah, there's metal on the fun side and stuff like that as well. But, you know, for the most part, metal's really kind of that music that looks at all the dark sides of life, you know, and questions a lot of stuff like that. And, yeah, I mean, you know, I think it definitely had an influence on everybody, you know, without a doubt. I mean,
totally good. But, of course, artwork, Eliran Kantor, it's incredible, dude. He's such an amazing artist. Did you give him the ideas and the concept of what you were working on before he drew that up? Yeah,
I mean, he's somebody that we had our eye on for a while, like we're looking at different artists and kind of like kept coming back to Eliran because of, you know, stylistically, he does a lot of the Renaissance stuff, but he also, you know, does surrealism stuff. He touches on a lot of different types of art, like different styles, but he does them all really well. You know what I mean? So when he does a piece, it's kind of like, it could take on a number of different, you know, looks, you know what I mean? So once the music was done and the lyrics were done, that's really when we start thinking about what the cover's going to look like, right? So we need all the information before we just decide what's going to be on the cover. So, yeah, once we had the concept and we knew the music was so much darker, it was just such a darker, hopeless record, you know, like, so we told him, you know, we said, you know what, you know, let's get Eliran because we think he can really kind of hone in on that that mood, that vibe, you know. And, yeah, we kind of basically wrote out a bunch of stuff, kind of gave him I think we gave him some lyrics. We definitely gave him a whole paragraph of what the concept was about, what we were trying to relay with the dark rays of light and having the angels burning and stuff like that. And then he suggested maybe they be more like melting, and we're like, yeah, that's exactly sounds much better, you know. so we did go back and forth with him, and it was cool because I think he appreciated that because I think he said most bands that he works with, they just give him like the album title and tell him to go for it, you know. Whereas with us, we've always been hands-on with that. So every album cover, we're always thinking of concepts and ideas and what's going to relate to the music. And so, yeah, so we had the ideas, and we basically gave that all to him with some of the pre-production music and everything, just so he can listen and get a feel for the vibe of the music and everything. And, yeah, he sent us, like, you know, a sketch, you know, after a couple of weeks. And it kind of looked like what you see now. It's a black and white version, maybe a little fuzzier, but it was pretty much exactly like that. And when we saw it, we were like, wow, yeah, you nailed it. We're like, go for it, you know. And we were fortunate that he did not have a lot of time. So to his credit, we were very appreciative that he was able to, you know, make it happen in such a short period of time. Because he only had about a month, you know, total, like they get best. So, you know, we were so happy that he, one, took it on, and two, just, you know, knocked it out of the park. And it was, you know, it just fit the music perfectly. It's oppressively dark, like our drummer Steve mentioned when he started. You know, it's oppressively dark. It's hopeless. It gives you that feel of the music, and that's exactly what we're looking for. So we're very happy with that. And again, he did an amazing job. And then we had Santiago Yaramil do from Triple Set Designs do all the inner pieces. And again, we gave him a bunch of concepts, and he did some stuff, and we kind of made some changes, whatever. We're back and forth with him, but yeah, he killed it too. And both those artists' work just kind of really melded together really well. And then Rob at the label at Nuclear Blast put everything together and did a really amazing layout for it, made everything kind of fit together. And yeah, so we're very happy with all that. The packaging, the feel with the music and the lyrics and all that, it all kind of came together very well. So the aesthetic really fit the music perfectly. I think just more so this time than most. But we're just extremely happy both artists were able to get everything done in such a short period of time and make it look amazing.
Did you get the original? Have you got it up in the jam room?
No, we did not. No. I don't know if we have access to that, but did not get the original.
It's a work
he
of.
Might not be an original giver away. He might be like, maybe like my original. I mean, I don't know. We didn't even ask. We were just happy to get him to do it for the record. And at that point, we didn't even think about it. But yeah, I'm not sure he does that.
Oh man, it's a beautiful piece, mate. It's it's art. It's like
amazing. Yeah, it's an amazing job.
It's stuff you'd see in a gallery. It's some cool shit. I'd buy it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it just the feeling fit it perfectly. It really did. So we're like super happy with it.
100%. And of course, you've got the shows coming up. The album's dropped. What else can we sort of expect from you later in the year?
Oh, we're definitely going back out again a couple of times this year in the States. Like I mentioned, we have a couple of those festivals, a couple of festival dates outside of the States this year. And that's about it. I mean, we will continue to do, for the first time, we kind of rolled everything out prior to the record. So we did like 3 videos before the record came out so people could get familiar with the music and everything. And we'll probably be doing more videos going into this year as well. We do have some, time because we do have a lot of touring, but we're going to have time to kind of keep pushing and promoting. So we're going to definitely do some more video work for sure from the record because all the songs all the song starts are like standouts, and we're going to be playing them all live at some point or another. So we're definitely going to be pushing some video stuff and other things to keep promoting the record. But we're going to be busy and probably get busier come 23. So that's our aim is just to get out there and get back out in the world and play all around the world as much as we can for this one. Especially after that 2-year hiatus that everybody had. It's time to get out and bring the music out there. So we look forward to that.
It's been awesome talking to you, and I love this new fucking album so much. And I'm not just saying that. All killer, no filler. And I can't wait to see this shit live down here in Australia, brother. I'm going to keep the beers cold for you. I'll buy a carton. I'll keep the beers cold for you, and they'll be ready to go by the time you get down here, all right?
Nice. Hopefully we'll be down there next year sometime. And, feel free to, if you're coming out to a show, let us know. We'll meet up or whatever. Pretty accessible most of the time. So, but hopefully we'll be able to have a beer down there together. Come next year. But thank you very much for the interview and thanks for the support. And again, so glad you really dig the record. It means a lot. And we just hope to see all the Australian fans and New Zealand fans, as soon as possible. We're working on it. So for now, they'll have to just, listen to the record a few times and
learn those lyrics. That's it. We'll be ready. Brother. Take care. Stay safe out there, man.
Thank you, sir.
Take care, man. You too, bro.
All right.
Bye.